Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Shannon Hughes, and here we talk all things Forex, specifically for Forex newbies, people looking to get into this industry but just need those beginning basic steps in helping them out to go ahead and get started. On today's training, I'm going to go through how to use MetaTrader 5. So if you've not yet connected your broker to MetaTrader 5 or haven't set up your broker yet because you're not sure how, I will link those videos below or check out my Forex for Newbies playlist, which has those things in there. So today's video using MetaTrader 5. Before we go through with it, please go ahead, click the like and subscribe button, and give me a follow on Instagram so you can keep up to date with all of my content. So we are going to go through how to use MetaTrader 5, but I'm going to use the signal on the right-hand side as an example. I do have a free Telegram channel where I share trade ideas, specifically gold, but also has extra education and value if you are new to the space and you are really looking to get involved, but perhaps want a low risk way of doing things by getting into a free channel. So we're going to use this signal and I'm going to show you guys how you add pairs to trade. So on MetaTrader 5, if you do not see the pair or commodity or whatever it is you're trading, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and add that. We're going to actually go ahead and do a market execution trade. So actually taking a trade, how to take partials. So if you're following people and taking signals, it's important that you understand how to close part of your trade. So when I say partials, you're closing part of your trade in order to secure profits. How to move your stop loss to break even. This is probably the best position to be in as a trader. You're in profit, you've maybe taken some partials, and you'll now move your stop loss to your point of entry. This means that your trade is now risk free. So if you ever hear move stop loss to break even, that's what it means. You're moving your stop loss to your point of entry and the trade now becomes risk free. But we're also going to go through how to take multiple entries on a trade idea. So for example, you can see on the screen, there are 2 TPs, that is 2 take profit points for this signal. So you will need to take 2 entries on this trade if you are wanting to hold to TP2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to share my other screen so that I can actually go to MetaTrader 5 and walk you through these things step by step. So you are going to see my screen pop up here in a second. I'm done it on my phone because that is where most people are going to be taking trades. You are going to be taking trades on your phone, okay, your MetaTrader 5. So you can actually see my screen now. This is called the quotes page. So this is where any pair you are wanting to trade, you will come here first. Okay, now if you've just set up your account, so you've set up your live account, you've connected it to MetaTrader 5, it's going to have some pre-selected pairs on your quotes page, which will be quite limited. It's usually only about 10 pairs. So it may be that a pair you want to trade isn't here. So what you're going to do is you're going to click up here where it says enter symbol for search, and you're going to search that pair. Now, I mostly trade gold, so I would type in XAUUSD. You can see it's popped up there. You now want to click the green plus button. That's going to disappear and it will now be at the bottom of your quotes page. So you can see it now says XAU USD down there at the bottom. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and click it. You now have these options. The ones you're going to use most is, of course, the trade button or the chart. So the first thing that you want to do is actually go to the chart when you see a signal sent out to you, and you want to check the current price. So you can see currently on the right-hand side where the green flag is, price is at 2,897.9. So let's just round up 2,898. Now, that sample trade idea I put on the screen, it says my entry would have been 2,900. So you can see it's currently a little bit below that price. Okay, but let's pretend it is at 2,900. Now, if you want to go ahead and execute a trade, okay, you will come to XAUUSD and click trade. Okay, this is the screen that you're going to see. Now, at the top, you can see it already says market execution because this is the most common trade. However, for those of you who go ahead and click there and want to know, there are different types of trades you can take. These other ones are called pending orders. Buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. Okay, please check out my Forex for Newbie training. It's about an hour long. I will also link that down in the description. So if you're wanting to take this training a little bit further and you're wanting to understand the difference between the types of trades we take, then you can go ahead and watch that training. But for now, we're going to do market execution. Now, here in the middle, this is where you will calculate your risk. Again, that Forex for Newbies training goes through that in quite a bit of detail and how you will calculate your risk. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's say I'm going to take a mini lot. Now, if you're just starting out, you should really only be risking 1 to 2% of your account in any given trade. Okay, so calculate that. Then you're just going to put in the stop loss that the signal gave you. Okay, so the signal I had put on the screen was the stop loss was 2,908, and the first take profit, TP1, was 2,893. Now, when you go to take a trade of market execution, you're either going to click the sell by market button, which is a sell, the buy by market for a buy. The trade idea I showed you was a sell, so I would go ahead and I would click the sell button. Now, as soon as I do that, you can see my trade has immediately gone into red. That is because of something called the spread that any broker is going to take. Okay, so now we are into that trade. If you are wanting to take a second trade to hold until TP2, you would just come in and repeat that process. You would click trade, you would go ahead and put in the stop loss, which remains the same. Now, this take profit is the only thing that changes. So if you're wanting to put in the second take profit, the TP2 was 2,885, and then I'm going to go ahead and click sell. Okay, so same trade idea, selling gold at 2,900, but now we've got one entry where if it comes and hits 2,893, it's going to automatically close that trade. In fact, if I look at my chart here, you can see. Okay, so my one trade, if it comes down and hits here, it's going to automatically close my trade in profit. And if it comes all the way down here, it's going to automatically close my trade in profit. However, what some traders like to do, and what I am definitely a very firm believer in, is taking my profits when the market offers me profits. So, for example, if my trade here has closed and I still have my other entry open, once it gets to this point, what I can do to reduce my risk, I can move my stop loss down to break even where I entered the trade. That means this remaining trade I have left is now completely risk-free. So if the market does reverse on me and go back in the other direction, it's just going to take me out where I entered in the first place. So I'm not going to lose any money. But what I could also do, because this trade is now in profit, I could also close out part of that profit in order to secure even more money while I wait for it to come down here. Okay, so how do I do that? Well, let's look at this trade, which has gone into a little bit of profit. Firstly, if I want to close part of that trade, I'm going to click close position. Okay, now what I am going to do, where my lot size is, it says 0.10, I'm just going to cut that in half. That is going to close half of my trade. So I could put in 0.05, which is of course half of 10. Okay, and that's now going to close half of my trade. Now, in theory, you could close as much as you want. I could close the majority of my trade and put 0.08, for example. and it would just leave me 0.02 running. Okay, but the easiest and what I normally do is I just close half. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and click close at the bottom. And now what you can see is that half of my trade is still running. It says 0.05. So this is what we call take partials. I have now closed part of my trade and secured partials. So if I now go to history, you can now see, okay, if I go to from today, where are my orders from today? Excuse me, there we go. Okay, my orders from today, there we go. You can see I've now closed half of that trade. Okay, but now I want to move my stop loss to break even. So in order to do that, first of all, I want to look at the number directly under my trade. So where it says the second trade, XAU sell 0.05, my entry price is directly under it, 2,898.21. So what I would do is I would tap again, only this time I'm going to click modify position. This allows me to change anything with my trade. I can change my stop loss. I could also change my take profit if I wanted to. Okay, so I would go ahead and I would click modify position. And this time I would just change my stop loss price so that it is now at my entry. And I would click modify. Now, if I come back over to chart, you can see that one of my stop losses has now moved down and it is right where I entered the trade. Okay, and I'm going to do that with the first one too, so you can see both of them moving. So again, I go to modify position and I put in where I entered the trade. Oh, sorry, that wasn't the price. Sorry. 2,897. So I'm going to put 98. Modify position 2,898 and modify. Okay, now if I come back to my chart, you can see there's no stop loss up here anymore. Both of my stop losses are now down where I entered. So if this market comes back and takes me out here, I will no longer risk any money. Okay, best position to be in as a trader. Okay, guys, so just to recap what we've gone through, we click and click close position if we are going to take partials. You can also close your entire trade here if you wanted to. Okay, so this first one that I took that I didn't take partials on, if I wanted to close it, I would just click close position and click close. That now closes my entire trade. Okay, so we've gone through how to close a trade, how to take partials, and to move my stop loss to break even, I would click modify position and just change my stop loss price to where I entered the trade in the first place. Okay, guys, so hopefully this has helped you navigate MetaTrader 5. Just a couple extra things at the bottom before we finish this video. Okay, the quotes page, of course, I showed you at the beginning. This is where you will choose the pair you're going to trade. You, of course, then have the chart, which with whatever pair you are looking at so that you can navigate. You can also change your time frame here at the top left. Okay, right now I'm on the 30-minute time frame, which is M30. You could go to the 1 hour time frame, which is H1. Whatever your strategy is, or if you're following signals, just find out what time frame they are on and you can go ahead and you can change that. Then, of course, the trade section is everything to do with your account. Of course, you can see your balance. You can see whether your trade is in profit or in drawdown. This is also where you can close your trade or modify your trade. You've then got history. Okay, if you go to the top right hand corner where the timer is, this allows you to look at different time frames. So your profit for the day, your profit for the week, your profit for the month, so on and so forth. Okay, now lastly is settings on the right hand side. Okay, now this is just my demo account, which I play around in and teach on. Okay, so I don't mind if people see my details there, but this is where you can then add a new broker account for new accounts. Okay, the rest of this you're most likely not going to use unless you want to change anything to do with the interface. So if you're wanting to change language, so on and so forth. Okay, guys, so hopefully you have gotten value from this video. go ahead. Again, if you haven't done so already, give me a like, subscribe, go through my Forex for Newbies playlist if there's anything else that you want. If there's a video you don't see, please drop a comment in the comment section on a video that you'd like to see, and I will definitely look to make that for you guys. Okay, so happy trading, everyone. Take care.